morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you guys doing this morning? Did you guys sleep good? I didn't sleep that good. I got something trying to attack me right now. Just I gotta hold my mule. But so I didn't sleep that good. I didn't lose sleep, but I didn't sleep as good as I could have, I guess. So when I finally did get down, I was gone. But yeah. So what is going on with you guys? How was your day yesterday? Mine was okay. It was pretty decent. I don't have any complaints. But yeah, I'm about to be near the highway, so I'll be on the highway in a couple minutes, a minute or two. But yeah, I'm gonna turn this down. So before they think I'm trying to make money off of an already produced money-making record. I hate I hate when it's like I don't own the rights. Duh. You think that I think you own the rights? Like what is social media? What is this about? I get it, but at the same time, it's like, please. Of course, I don't own the rights to this. I think Mary J. Blige, you a producer. Anyway, so something has been pissing me off, and I wanted to, and of course, we know it don't take much, but I brought up this topic before, but I need to bring it up again because it's upsetting me and my homegirls for real. It really, really is. And it's the topic of kitten heels. Kitten heels are pissing me off, y'all. I mean, I am in mourning. I am in mourning of my ankles, my knees, you know what I mean? And just my overall balance. You know what I mean? My overall balance. I mean, I already got vertigo, so that's not okay. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm trying to be high up in the sky with some fives on. I'm not in my 20s, but I'm also, I guess, not in my 30s. I can't have on no fours either. But that's not the point. The point is I am in mourning. I am in mourning. I can't deal with kitten heels. I hate them so much. I don't hate them, but what's happening is that I'm seeing shoes that I like, and not because I'm going to buy them necessarily, but just shoes, and I'm noticing that every time I'm looking at a shoe that I might like, it's a kitten heel. And I know it's because in the back of my mind, I know that I don't want to fall down. I don't want to give the baby giraffe look. I don't want to look like a baby horse when they first come out and they can't stand up, and the legs are all rickety. That's what it's giving when you try to wear heels and your body is trying to tell you not to do that anymore. And so it's upsetting me and my homegirls. You know what I mean? Because we're having a breakdown into kitten heels. And what I am happy about is that I do see a lot of cute kitten heels. So now I have to trick my mind into saying, baby, you bet to listen, okay? It needs to be an adoption agency down to my house. All kitten heels, okay? All cats meowing when you putting on shoes. Right now I got on flats, super flat, like slides. But yeah, I've been upset about this kitten heel situation because in my mind they're everywhere. And so now it's almost like they're trending. And I get it. And by the time this trend goes out, I mean, they'll always be in because people will always wear them. But there's like a trend on, we don't wear sky-high heels anymore. And I get it. Listen, I have my share of wearing platforms and 4-inch heels looking like I'm walking on stilts. It's giving, one of them things that's, them stilts, them little wooden things that you walking on. But yeah, I'm upset because I see a lot of kitten heels that I like. And I don't like kitten heels, you know what I mean? It's forcing me to realize that it's like, if you are going to get a new pair of shoes and they're going to be heels, they're going to have to be small cats meowing. You know what I'm saying? Pissing me off. But yeah, so that's really kind of ticking me off. But anywho, But you know what I wanted to ask y'all about? You know what? Wait, first of all, let me say this before I ask y'all about this. I know yesterday I had mentioned that the Nottoway plantation broke down. Everybody's talking about that. What I didn't know is that when the fire started, I guess it was earlier in the day, and the fire department came and they was able to put the fire out. Overnight, the fire reignited. And of course, everybody's asleep or doing whatever. It's a resort, people or whatever. The house got 60 rooms, 150 windows, all this good stuff. They couldn't contain it. It took them 18 hours to get that fire out. So I didn't know that the fire had reignited, which to me means when the ancestors lit the match and then they tried to put it out, it was given, I'm sick of you trying to, like always put down my energy and my effort. I'm tired of you just trying to bring me down. You see what I'm saying? And so they came back and relit the match and then burned to the ground. You know what I mean? Just the Disco Inferno started. You know what I mean? It was the Ohio players, as they say. But yeah, so that happened there. But what was I getting ready to talk about? I don't even know what the hell my point was. The 50-50 conversation. What's going on, y'all? Y'all paying half? Do you believe in that? What's the deal with that? Are we paying half? Or are we paying, what are we doing? Do we have a roommate? Do we have an actual romantic partner? What are we doing? Because I'm not gonna lie, I may never have a date again if I have to pay for even the tip. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wanting me to prove that I contribute is bogus. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, you have no proof that I wouldn't contribute. So why aren't you just being a gentleman? You see what I'm saying? Why aren't you just simply paying for the dinner without any of those ideas? But more importantly, why do you want to go to dinner so bad when there's any payment that you want somebody else to make? If you want me to contribute to this dinner, I need you to know that I don't want to go. I don't want to go if I got to pay half of my dinner. I would rather hang out with my girlfriends and pay my ticket than pay my ticket with some guy that wants to be with me romantically. I mean, to me, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, it's really kind of gross. Maybe I'm a little bit older and more crude, but sir, pay the tip. Like, just finish the job. Finish strong. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's not like we got chopped. And even if we are, again, if you're gonna pay for dinner for somebody, finish strong. Pay the tip as well, and don't feel no kind of way about it. You know what I mean? Don't feel no kind of way about it. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you to hang out, whether it's with a romantic partner, with your friends, by yourself, with your kids, anything you want to do, you gotta pay. You have to pay to play. It has always cost money. I told y'all. That's what the whole point of prostitution is. And the thing about it is, shaming people who you think might be a prostitute because they want some dinner, it's just crazy. There will always be somebody willing to pay. Let's not pretend that the whole point is the payment. The whole point is you can't get it for free, so you gotta pay. If you can get it for free, get it for free. And whatever headache comes with that, excellent. You know what I mean? But if you can't get it for free, then you gotta pay for it. And so, don't complain about the payment. Either pay it or shut the hell up and, be depressed and sad or whatever, the result of that is. But get that out of my face. But yeah, I'm not going 50-50 at no dinner. And let's be honest, with me personally, I think a lot of people, especially in my generation, are having a conversation about 50-50 when it's like, first of all, y'all still living with people? You're still ready to live with somebody? You're still willing to live with somebody? It ain't enough square feet in the world. It ain't enough square feet in the world, okay? I live with my daughter and she's pushing it, okay? She about to be put out. There's barely enough square feet for her. So And when I talked about just now my generation talking about it, I just noticed over some years now, like, it's a lot of people from my generation talking about things that don't include them because we too old, right? So it's giving like 50-50. What? Leading somebody and submission. What are we talking about? Like, I don't need to be led. I'm 47. I'm 47. What are we talking about here? I'm not splitting bills with you. I would rather pay my bills by myself, to be honest, because I do like a lot of space. I like an unconventional relationship, to be honest. I don't like a relationship overly traditional, because the truth is, I don't listen, and I'm not gonna listen. So we can get that off the table. When you talk about what do I bring to the table, right off the gate, what I bring to the table is not listening. Not doing what nobody say, okay? That's a part of my repertoire. That's a part of what I bring, is that I don't listen. And so at the end of the day, I don't know, but yeah, I can't even imagine splitting the bills with anybody besides a roommate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not splitting the bills with you. I got other stuff I got to do with my money. If it's gonna be extra money in my house, please understand I got stuff to do with it. Okay? I got stuff that I could be doing. And so, no, I'm not splitting the bills with nobody. Y'all go ahead and y'all split them bills. I'd rather pay my own. I'll pay my own right now. I ain't got time for it. But yeah, I don't know about that right there. I'm not splitting dinner. I ain't splitting the rent. No. It's and you know I don't want to pay the $5. You know I don't want to pay the $5. I can't pay the $5, but I would rather pay the $5 than pay half and knowing I'm mad the whole time, knowing I'm looking, like that the whole time. You know what I mean? Knowing that it's like, get your mitts off me the whole time. I'm not paying half, and that's going to be my attitude and my insides. That's how my insides is feeling. Like, no, no. How about we pay our own bills wherever we live, and then I'll see you when I see you wherever I see you at. Let's make an arrangement to see each other. Because a lot of people try to make it seem like, arrangement. Look, isn't that what our relationships are? An arrangement? Are they not? Are they not? Our relationships are arrangements. If you're smart, you'll make your arrangements up front. And you'll stop waiting until incidents happen to deal with deal breakers and things like that. But those are not easy conversations to have, and I don't think they should be easy. But I think they should be had. I think if people had those conversations up front more, you will be able to go ahead and really, really communicate so much more better, because you're able to say up front, like, listen, and I'll give y'all an example. I'll give you an example. Now, let's say I'm in a relationship, please, but and some cheating go on, right? Now, the thing about it is, first of all, are we exclusive? What kind of relationship is this? You know what I mean? Let's get that established right off the gate. Let's not make any assumptions about what we're doing here. You know what I mean? That's number one. So let's just go ahead and say the relationship is exclusive. Now, I don't believe monogamy is, I believe it's a social construct. I believe that it's a verbal contract is what I believe monogamy is. It's not embedded in your DNA. It's not something that you're being controlled by, that's just out of your control, and you're just like not cheating because, you're being controlled by some other entity. That's not what monogamy is. It's a verbal contract that you're making out of love, respect, and discipline, saying that you're not going to do A, B, and C. I'm not going to cheat, or I'm not going to whatever. Once that part of the negotiation is broken, the relationship is back up for renegotiation. We back at the proverbial table to talk about what has happened, what has transpired, if it's a deal breaker, and what should we do going forward. Now, you've already set yourself up for success if you talked about this earlier. Because if you talked about it earlier and you know it's a deal breaker, it's giving, we don't have to go through the back and forth. We can just understand that once this happens, once you're caught or whatever, however that information comes out, we can just understand that once that happens, this relationship is over. Or we could say, okay, once that happens, one of us will get a cheat pass. Now, what am I talking about when I say cheat pass? It's not that listen, once you cheat, you opening the relationship up. As far as I'm concerned, it's opened up. It's opened up. And so let's discuss it being opened up rather than pretending we don't know what happened, rather than pretending that we can go back to how things were before that happened. Because that's not true. Anything that happened before cheating will lead up to cheating again. So there's no going back to how it was. Because however it was, cheating ended up occurring. You have to do a clean slate if you're going to go ahead and stay and be with the person. But one option to stay, and like I said, to be with them, is to get a cheat pass. Because here's the truth. I know me, I'm not going to be able to stop talking about it. I'm not going to be able to stop bringing it up. Okay? I'm going to be harassing and badgering the witness down to the ground. That's just what I'm going to be doing if some cheating going on. Now I'm only going to badger the witness if the witness still wants to stay in the relationship. Because at that point, it's up to him to prove that things are changed and it's not going to be this way and all of these things. But because I'm a person that believes monogamy is a social construct, right? I'm like, I don't know that cheating has to be a deal breaker. The only way I will let it be a deal breaker for me, if it's going to be a deal breaker for him. If he got a problem when I cheat, then I got a problem when he cheat. If he wants to be forgiven, I need to be forgiven. Again, anybody can cheat. It's a decision that you're making. It's not this, this scent that you lifted off your feet off the ground and you just go to it like Bugs Bunny back in the day. That's not how that works. You know what I mean? So we back at the table for renegotiation at the point where any one of our agreements in place is broken. We back to renegotiating the contract of the relationship. What's up? What are we doing? You want to see other people? Now, when you're a woman, you asking that, the answer is usually always no. He don't want you to see other people because he don't want to have to compete. No. It's not about competing. It's about whatever it is that you're saying it's about, right? You just want to try something new. What's wrong with trying something new, right? I mean, isn't that his point? Anyway, the point is I would need a cheat pass, personally. I would need a cheat pass, which I could use at any time I want, which I would not have to alert, alarm, tell, disclose at any point that I'm using the pass, that I'm going to use the pass, or that I've used it. If we're going to stay together, I need a cheat pass. And I need that just to be understood that that's what we're dealing with here. And I'll use it at my whim. I may or may not use it. But I need a pass. And if I'm not going to be able to get a pass, then we're going to break up. Because I'm not going to be able to stop talking about it. I'm not going to be able to be trusted in the fact that you want to see other people, We can make an arrangement potentially. You know what I mean? And because people don't want to make the arrangement, they would rather cheat and wait until that happens. And I promise you, what I'm not going to be doing is paying 50-50 with a person who think I don't have a pass. Because Lord knows, if I was living with somebody, I'm not asking for a pass. This was already discussed. I have a pass, which I may or may not use. I don't know. We'll see. Because now that puts me in a situation where let me see if I want to exercise my flirting skills. Let me see if I still got it. And one thing could lead to another. You never know. But I do want you guys to get this idea out of your head that every time a woman has sex, she's like overly like trying to communicate and be, whatever. Like, she had to have done such and such. She gotta love him. She gotta care about him because she did such and such. Your experience in life tells you that that's not true. That's not how that works. That's not true. You know what I mean? That's why you're able to cheat so much the way you are, is because you know that it's not true that every woman you sleep with cares and is dying to be with you. Like, that's over the top, and that kind of ego, it's like, bring it down, okay? Bring it down. That percentages ain't high enough to think that every time you do it with somebody, they really want you or something like that. Like, please. It's a lot of faking going on. Ladies, am I right? It's like, get off me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh God, please. You know what I mean? Except when it's not, but still. When it's not, it's not. But when it is, it's like, oh my God. Oh, what time? But Yeah, so, you know, it's like bring it down. But yeah, I'm not paying 50-50 with nobody that think I don't have a cheating past or think I'm getting ready to go through thinking that the ups and the downs of a relationship is, you know, the hard times got something to do with a whole other person. What? Cause see, if I'm gonna include another person, it's not gonna be the hard times. It's gonna be the good times, baby. Let the good times roll. That's what it's gonna be. Y'all let me get over 6 feet, 7 feet. All right. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not doing 50. But yeah, let me change the topic real quick because why? Oh, why is my daughter calling me bruh? Y'all know anything about this? Sophia gonna call. She gonna try to call me bruh. I had to stop her in her tracks, baby. Let me stop you right there. I get it. You know, you're trying to get up on the new slang. You know what I mean? You're trying to be cool. You know what I mean? But not me, honey. I'm not your bruh. Okay? Don't call me that. Save that for your little friends. Save that for your friends. Okay? I saw Sophia last year going back and forth with somebody on one of her games. And she gonna call them in all caps a motherfucker. And she gonna spell it correctly. What? Excuse me? And so I had to keep reading to find the context, you know? First of all, let me see if she used it correctly. Because you can't just be calling a person an MF and the context ain't right. Okay, and the context was correct, the spelling was correct, and I was still like, oh my God, my daughter. But y'all know I love to cuss and carry on. And so she got it honestly. But at the end of the day, when she got to crying later, I said, hold up. And I ain't say hold up, motherfucker, but I wanted to so she could see my point. I ain't do her like that, but I did let her know, listen, what you're not going to be doing is crying about this and then spelling motherfucker in all caps later to somebody else. What's it going to be? Either you out here cussing and carrying on or you're not. Okay? Pick a lane. Pick a lane. I'm not saying she can't do both because I'm a big crybaby. It don't take much for me to cry, but it don't take much for me to stop crying either. You know what I mean? I'll cry because my initial reaction is like, oh my God, you don't need emotion, and then anger, and then that's usually, it stays that way until I figure something else out. But yes, so anywho, but the last thing I'm gonna say, I do have something I wanted to say about this whole relationship thing. I find it interesting. Oh, some trees is down over here. Okay, I find it interesting that a lot of people were saying like free Diddy, right? And it's my opinion and my belief that if you're saying free Diddy, right, it's likely the same person that's still saying free Breezy, free Tory, free R. Kelly, free Bill Cosby, and the list goes on and on. I find it interesting that you want me to believe that you think that these people should be free, and then I'm supposed to not think that you can't relate to them and their behavior. If you want them free, then I know you the kind of freak and the kind of criminal. That's your flavor. They flavor is your flavor. Okay? You out here using baby oil, pissing on the people, okay? Putting something in they pudding pop, okay? You giving out free pudding pops with something in there, okay? That's what you doing. I sure did. But yeah, so if you a person saying free Tory, free Breezy, free R. Kelly, free Diddy, yeah, you might be like a gross human being yourself. Because what's the logic behind freeing a list of niggas that you know, heard, or in jail behind doing the top nastiest 3 things, the most terrible 3 things, let's just say, for instance, and you saying freedom? It sounds like to me you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to do it without having to go to jail. And you want them to be able to do it without having to go to jail. But see, they in jail. And if you do it, you going to go to jail. And you might not go to jail right away. It might take you 30 years like Diddy. You know, 167 years to burn to the ground like the antebellum plantation. It might take that time. But Karma has everybody's address. I think I would just recommend anybody saying free Diddy, anybody saying free R. Kelly, free Tory, and now here come Chris Brown said free Tory, and then the next day he went to jail in London. Sir, free you. But that's not going to happen. See, you might end up having to do some time in London because you did crack that man over the head with that bottle. You did do that. You did that. And now you might have to pay the price for that. I mean, on one hand, I guess at least he got his head cracked. On the other hand, his head cracked. On the other hand, you might have to pay the price for that. You see what I'm saying? And so, I don't know what you want anybody to do. No one's bringing a black man down. No one needs help being brought down. You can bring yourself down. And then we're just spectators watching it. Like it's as if it's entertainment. For you, it's your real life. Is it? Is it? Is it your real life? And if it is, okay, well then this is what your real life is. And it entertains me because it's on television. I mean, what do you want the people to say? I wouldn't say free any of these people. Everybody on the list that I just said has a reason why they should have been arrested for whatever they were arrested for, and do it. And whatever, unfortunately, again, you got to remember what color you are operating. Complaining that if you was this color, this wouldn't happen is not going to change the fact that you're not that color, and therefore that's not going to happen. It's going to happen based on the color you are, not the color if you are. Okay? I'm just further ticking me. Okay? Further ticking me. And so, but anyway, I'm here. It's 7:57. I made it on time. And I will be, I don't know if I should do it afternoon. I don't know if I should do it afternoon. I have some, like I said, I have something that's attacking me right now. And so I don't know if I need to really make some space for taking care of some things I need to be responsible for. I'm going to still come in the mornings, but and try to work on my other stuff. But I don't know if I'm going to do afternoons because I'll be needing to recharge on my ride home. And so, anyway, y'all have a good day today. Today's Tuesday. You know, sometimes Tuesday. This lady she got on pajamas. She got on pajamas. She said, y'all gonna make me come in 5 days a week, baby. I'm gonna wear whatever the hell I want to wear. And I ain't mad, but she damn sure rolled out the bed. She rolled straight out that bus. She was like, just give me my coffee and let me go. But yeah, today's Tuesday. Sometimes Tuesdays act like Mondays, and I don't like that. Okay, but I'm here. Don't let nobody piss you off. And if they do, you know what to do. Pull them to the side. Pull them to the side. You can curse them out right there, and it'll be their word against yours. And you become a lawyer. Put that on your resume. But yes, y'all have a good day today. I plan to do the same. And I will talk to y'all later. All right, bye.